G. Brown, the lifestyle changer.
And I'm Frederick Brown, the husband.
And this is Hanging with the Browns.
Yes.
This is episode 3. Hopefully one day I'm going to say, this is episode 100. We're going to get 100 episode in. But listen, so the first episode was Frederick telling his story. He's going to do a short recap. The second episode was me telling my story. And he said, let's do it over because he was very satiated.
Was I? Ooh, my goodness.
He's nothing like this on that episode. So
No,
if you've already watched it, so glad you tuned in to this one and you didn't let that become, oh, we don't want to watch them. They boring.
No.
Okay, so we're going to start with you. Give a quick recap.
Okay, well, as my wife said in the first episode, we talked a little bit about my experiences with the carnivore diet. Being that I don't have a gallbladder, and I gave a little history on that where I lost my gallbladder roughly 5 years ago or so, and after we started this carnivore diet, one of the things that happened to me the first week, because I also went through the process of describing how the liver creates the bile and then it stores.
Don't tell too much. We want them to go back and watch it.
In the gallbladder, right? And then it's discharged through the intestines, right? Well, since I don't have that gallbladder, I don't have that storage mechanism. So what was happening the first week? My liver was doing what it was supposed to do. It was processing that stuff, and it was coming right out of me. Greasy, I tell you. And
don't leave out smelly.
Yeah, it was smelly. It smelled like raw sewage. I kid you not. I was beginning to wonder. I thought something had died in me or something. I don't know, but it was really awful. And I have to say that was the first week. Now after that, the smell started dissipating, so I don't have that type of aroma anymore. So I'm thankful for it. I don't have that type of aroma. And my frequency of pooping is not that much. It really isn't.
That was so cute. Pooping? Go
Pooping?
ahead.
Yeah.
We just talked to the grandbaby.
Yeah.
And that's where he got is pooping. Go
Pooping?
ahead.
Yeah. So our body, or my body, is processing a large amount of my intake, right? Extracting all of the nutrients, right? Leaving very little waste for my body to discharge. And that's a wonderful thing. It really is. Feel good about it.
That's good.
Yep.
So episode 2 was about me. I shared a story that, like I said, even my mother didn't know. So y'all knew first. All right. And with that being said, my eating habits are different from his. But the one thing that I didn't share on episode 2 was my poop. Okay. So I was vegan prior to this diet. And
shame on you. Go ahead.
what I've learned, because I would poop like 2-3 times a day sometimes, and but always a good one. And then there have been some times that I was so proud of my poop that I let out because it like came up out the toilet type stuff. I was like, whoa, because if you turned around and measured it, I know that joke had to be over 3 feet. And it just did its thing and came right on up out the water.
She was proud of it, y'all. I don't understand it. She was proud of it.
Well, with what I know now,
Yeah.
I'm shamed.
It's shame.
Because
It's like
let me share with you what the difference is. So my poop story being on the carnivore diet, because that was my experience before, I was 5 days in on the carnivore diet and I had not gone to the bathroom. And so what are some things they teach you? They teach you that that it's sitting up inside of you, that food is rotten, it's gonna clog your bowels, it's doing all of this. And I'm thinking to myself, the devil is a lie. I'm not doing all of this to turn around and just have like this knot sitting in my stomach that's been there for weeks.
Yeah, but we had these conversations though.
It didn't make it. I don't care. No, that just did not make sense to me.
Yeah, okay.
I'm pooping all the time, and now you telling me that it's a possibility that you. No, that didn't make sense to me. So let me tell you what I did. A bottle of water like this. I went and got some Miralax. I did a whole cap full in there, shook it up. I drank that, and then I did that probably about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And then before I went to bed, not a stool softener, I took 2 Docalax.
2?
Yes, 2 Docalax. That's an inside joke. And so keep in mind, I had a whole cap full of Miralax and 2 Docalax, right? I'm ready. Because I'm gonna, you're not getting ready to have dead animal just sitting up in me. So now here we are in the morning, and I go to the bathroom and I'm dry heaving. And it was nothing's coming out.
There was nothing there.
So if I had to guess, it was probably about 6 or 7 ounces of just, I guess, some liquid that's already kind of in your intestines, but no poop. And I was like, oh, maybe they was telling the truth. But I'm already sick now because I done tore my system up. So once I finished with that, the reaction from the pills, all this other stuff, I trust the process. So now at the 20th day, because I'm still trusting the process, I pooped. And yeah.
Okay. How was that one?
It just, I feel like Michael Jackson and the Wiz. Ease on down the road. It just eased on out. It eased right on out. And I'm like, oh, this is how it's supposed to go. And so what did I learn from that? I learned that your body is going to get rid of waste, what it didn't use. So that makes me think, all while I was vegan, I'm pooping 2-3 times a day. So all the vegetables, all the everything, my body was like, we don't want that, and was pooping all that stuff out. Now when I eat, I am taking.
But how were you feeling though when you were eating this food as a vegan and doing all that pooping?
That was a good question because in episode 1, he shared how I became vegan, how I instantaneously became vegan. That's in episode 1. And with that, a lot of times people say, well, why vegans try to, mimic fish or mimic burgers or mimic. That's because that's what doggone it we was used to eating, and you still have those taste buds and you still want that. But it was still a lot of processed foods. And while I was vegan, I was getting back injections for my herniated disc in 2 places.
And how long would that last before it resurfaced?
Wait a minute. It really didn't, because I was on 3 years of Percocets. And then bursitis in the left hip, where I couldn't even lay on that hip. So what did they do? They injected in that as well. But I'm vegan. And then when I would get up, the soreness of my body, right? And then I started being able to move around. But if I sat too long, I got really, really stiff. None of that happens now. It really doesn't. None of that.
What about that pain when you're in bed? On your left leg, I think it is?
The sciatic nerve. So it was so bad while I was vegan. He bought a sleep number bed where the mattresses are separate, because I kick and fight throughout the night. I'm
snoring, right? I'm making music. She's kicking.
I'm dancing.
We got a whole band going. Yeah.
I know you making music. I'm dancing to it. Yes, and it's like, Oh my God. He did that because there was so much movement, so uncomfortable. And if you know anything about a sleep number, my number was down to 25. The bed had to be soft because it was like I was in a bowl. I was in a bowl because of I couldn't lay like this. It pinched the nerve in my back. So I had to kind of stay cupped over. It was just horrible. It was horrible. It's not like that anymore. It isn't. So I want you to trust the process when it comes to pooping, because your body is going to use most of what you put in it, if not all. My brother, which you can learn about him in episode 1 as well, so that's what we talk about now, is the pooping. And so for him, he said he does about a Snicker bar every 3 days. So that's his call in. So if you're not pooping, it is okay. If you are not on this diet and you ain't pooping, now you might have dead people up inside of you.
Yeah. But the whole concept, the whole idea behind this carnivore diet is that the meat that we're eating has all of the nutrients that your body really needs or that your body craves. And it extracts those nutrients from the food, right? So if it's and it's using those nutrients for your body, right? So again, waste is what it can't process. So if you're putting the right stuff in your body and it's processing, you're not gonna have much waste left. So
well, while you're talking, tell some pros, some benefits that you've noticed even more in the last couple of weeks.
I guess today I think we counted I'm on day 35. It is of the carnivore diet. I feel good. I feel good. And if you go back and watch the first video, and my wife had captured me walking to the bathroom one night when I had an episode of what I thought was gout or severe inflammation, and was in both feet, and I could hardly walk. And if you listen carefully, you can hear me moan, and it was awful, right? It was awful, guys. And so the benefit is I don't have that. I jump up and go to the bathroom, I do whatever. I don't have that. I feel good. I kid you not, I feel good. And it's amazing how if we put the proper foods in our bodies, our body will take care of itself, right? So if you're having these ailments, I don't care what it is, if you're having these ailments, it's being triggered, most often being triggered by something that you're putting in your body that's not good for you. Processed foods, sugars, those kinds of things have an acceptable amount of harmful chemicals that we have deemed
okay to put in your body. Everything has an acceptable amount. The water coming out of your faucet. But how many acceptables become unacceptable? Right? That's
when you die, right?
No, that's when you start
that's when you die. Until you die, then it's still considered acceptable because you're going to the doctor and they're taking care of making sure they got all your money.
There you go. Two things that I know you've said that it was a truth serum and brain fog.
Yeah, truth serum. Hey, that one's a little tough, guys, and it could have come from not eating some of the processed foods, but I had a tendency of being raw when I started doing this. When I say raw, I mean expressing how I felt. I wasn't holding back, and sometimes I would come across harsh and will hurt feelings, and
not to me.
No, I mean people when I talk to them, and not barking, but just spitting real truth, right?
No sugarcoating.
Yeah, no sugarcoating. Spitting real truth, and that was one of the things. And I think the other thing that I've noticed was brain fog. Now, with my job, we haven't talked about this, but I am an engineer, right? And I don't want to go into this, but I have to read a lot of reports, a lot of engineering reports, and as being the regional account engineer, I have to read these reports, process these reports, write my opinions and what I think about, whatever the hazard may be. And I would find myself at times forgetting, having to reread. I'm like, what's really going on? Now I'm functioning at a whole nother level. I can sit there and process. I jump up at 4 o'clock. I'm in my office. I'm working, and my mind is fresh, and I'm spitting that stuff out, and I love it. I love it. So that brain fog is gone. If you listen to some of the other people's videos, they talk about that brain fog, and it's true. It's really true. It's like my whole thought process is different. Things just come to me a little bit better than they did before, and I'm sure it had a lot to do with what I was taking to my body.
Yep. So
how about you?
We said that. For me, I was already raw. Yeah. The list of. Yeah. No, I would sugarcoat, but then it's just we look at each other. It's like, oh, this is just truth serum. I don't have time right now. Oh, boo boo. No, I really, really don't. It is what it is, and that's what it is. Yeah. But I know this week we went to the dentist, and we share this. We really do. We start talking about what it is. Now, I don't care if you do it or not. I really, really don't. It's not going to stop how we are moving forward with this. It is. But I would love for you to take the journey with us. I am not kidding. And I always say to people, give me 30 days.
Yeah.
And what I've done is some people that's on the journey with us, they're not starting a channel or anything, but I asked them to give me a video recording. Just make it short, 3-4 minutes. How's it going? And then I'm going to, not on this one, I'll insert it unless I get it before this editing. But just to let you see some of the other, one girl, rheumatoid arthritis, she said she had not since 2014. And she was 3 weeks in. 2014, could not get up in her. She said her feet felt like blocks, no closing of the hands. She was like, for the first time since 2014, my feet and hands are normal. I don't believe it. Yeah. You just won't believe it until you see it. And it's like, it's so many things that irritable bowel syndrome, it's the food. Can't say that enough.
Yeah,
we're gonna stop because we don't want these to be too long. Yep. There's some other shows that we're going to do. There's some where we just want you guys. Everything won't be about carnivore. Yep. Every Sunday is about carnivore. But if you see it throughout the week, you might want to watch because
Hanging with the Browns.
We got
some stuff coming.
Yes, I'm gonna tell y'all how we met. Not now, but it's a story. It's a story. One thing I do want to share is when you're on this diet, invest in paper towels. All right? In paper towels. Because one of the things that I do, this is just a little tip, and we're going to end it here. One of the things that I do is, because you're cooking so much meat and you have to have fat, well, that's a bunch of grease, which can get down in your drain. So, the grease is on the plate, and this my king. I do not serve him on paper products. That'll be another story. You can mention it in the comments. I don't care. It's the truth serum. But I don't break out the china for strangers. This is the person that gets the china from me. So, with that being said, the forks, the knives, everything, once it hits the sink, I have to use paper towels to clean that grease off before I put it in the dishwasher, or I just believe that later on we're going to have a hot mess, and I don't want that. So that's this episode, guys. That is the episode, and
make sure you like and subscribe, please. We want to build this channel. We feel good about this. My wife has been trying to get me involved with this for a few years now, and
he didn't say months. He said years.
Yeah. And I shared this also, how I'm a YouTube fanatic. My wife says I have a PhD in YouTube.
This is Dr. Brown.
Dr. Brown, right, in YouTube, because I've learned a lot from a lot of content creators on YouTube, and they've served me well, and now it's it's our time to hopefully be able to give back, get in the community and give back and kind of share our experiences and hopefully help others as well. So that's our goal. That's our desire. And we're going to try and do it.
Is that your only desire?
No, baby. But we're going to cut it here.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much
Yes.
for watching us. Listen, if you want to, I just got him on to YouTube. He does have social media, but he uses it just to watch other people. TikTok, he puts up nothing.
Yeah.
But there'll be a QR code where you can locate me if you choose to see what some stuff. I'm doing something different everywhere.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, you are.
And
Here's
I know
the body.
one day y'all want to see what's up under this hat.
Yeah.
I just ain't here, America.
Okay.
Thank God for the hats. Bye, guys.